And we are live. Hello, and thanks for tuning in. This is the SuperBoss Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Ian Eatwell, and I'm joined by Luke and Harrison.
What's up?
And if you're a new listener, we talk about anything ranging from movies, video games, comics, and anything we really care about. What?
I said, we speed running it.
Speed run. Yeah. So, you can find us here and on YouTube if you're listening on YouTube. Anyways, sit back, relax, grab your favorite drink like Harrison, and join and join us on this adventure. But before we get started on things, Harrison, how are you doing?
I'm tired, but that's not the point here. I'm hyped because I'm pretty sure we're going to talk about PlayStation today. But
we got so much.
But we got so much to talk about today.
It'll be cool to talk about it. We haven't. Once again, as I mentioned, basically anytime we start talking about video games, we're kind of in a drought. So when anything video game related comes out, it's all we talk about for the episode. So if you don't want spoilers on PlayStation Show that just happened on September 9th, go away.
Yep, go away
because we're going to talk about it in like 30 minutes.
Yeah. Just pause this video and go watch it.
Go watch it.
Or that. I shouldn't kick
you know what?
Away.
Or no, you know what? Keep the video playing and just mute us. We'll probably by the time you finish watching, we'll be at that point. Let's be real.
Yeah. Exactly.
But yeah, so keep it short and sweet. I am catching up to our editor and Ian because they freaking blew past like Final Fantasy stuff. Like everybody. So I'm like, I want to say like 1/4 of the way through Shadowbringers. So just been doing that.
Just base Shadowbringers, right?
Base.
Okay.
But it's also kind of like, it's one of those, I kind of want to also play other stuff right now. But I still will go back because I'm paying for it. So it is like one of those like, I'm coming back. So having fun with that, that's pretty cool. Really anime as hell, I will say, so far. And I believe, whoever said, like, I remember hearing someone say that a while back, like a year ago. I'm like, all right, now I believe you. Other than that, I've just been I actually also got Final Fantasy IV, the Pixel remaster just dropped.
Oh.
So I got that. And
nice.
It's weird because, I could get it on I think I had it on PSP. Mm-hmm. So I had it emulated because I was able to like transfer it or something like that. But it is kind of weird to play on PC because it actually looks really good. I was expecting it to be like pretty bad, but my experience so far has been pretty good. Cool. And it's just funny because I'm playing it and I'm like, oh, cool. It's really cool because I'm like, oh, it's like Heavensward because that's when I think they dropped Dark Knight, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's either 4 or 5.
No, I mean in in Final Fantasy 14. But 4, yes. But yeah, in 4 they had like Dark Pilot and then Dragoon like together. I was like, oh, this is cool. Reminds me of Heavensward. But gonna play through that for a bit, and then I've been playing Splitgate occasionally.
Yeah,
because it's hilariously kind of good. I didn't expect it.
Yeah, would you say that they've like upgraded since the last time we tried it out? Yeah.
It's actually.
You're like
I remember like the little things we complain about were like, oh, you expected Halo like type of deal, like even like just little things like, oh, the melee doesn't feel right. It's fine. They fix like sprinting. They fix like gun sounds and all this stuff. It just feels better as a game. So, and it's fun. It's just because it's free. So I'm like, all right, why not? So, at that. And because these two haven't seen it, I'm just gonna say, Shang-Chi's really good. I've seen it. Our editor's seen it. We can't talk about it yet.
I did hear it was very good. So
good.
Maybe this weekend I'll see if I have time. If not, maybe next week at the latest.
Yeah.
Next week at the latest. That's what I'll say.
It had really good opening numbers, right? I never like paid attention to that stuff, but I heard about it.
I keep hearing 70K opening weekend.
Mm.
I think it was like one of those, like, a lot of people were like, oh, a lot of people on YouTube were like, oh, it's gonna bomb, blah blah blah, and then Simu was like, nah, this is good. So it's honestly really good. It's now one of my favorite origin stories, because I feel like they did it pretty well in comparison to some. Okay. There's like little things like I want you guys to watch it first, and do you want to talk about it another time?
Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, because it's I'm just curious about thoughts.
We haven't had a movie talk in a while.
Yeah,
so
it's been a while. So hopefully next time.
Yeah.
But
Finger guns.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Cool.
Just go watch the movie.
Luke.
Nothing super interesting. I mean, I've been playing Final Fantasy like everybody else. Right. I guess one thing that
it's like the thing
is new is recently I started playing Legends of Runeterra again, but only the PvE version. I haven't touched like play against another player game since I last had it installed, which was maybe 2 or 3 years ago. So they have this thing called Labs, which is right now there's 2 different labs. They have this like curated lab where you go through this map and you eventually fight Gangplank, who's a specific deck. Or you have the Lab of Legends, which is a bit more like crunched, where you just have set fights leading up to 3 bosses.
Okay.
And the cool thing about both is that they have curated decks that you start with, and then you slowly incorporate unique cards yourself. Like you don't have a completely curated deck. You just have a starting curated deck. And it's fun. I mean, I've never been I don't really like PvE or PvP card games. Mainly it's because I'm too lazy to learn the meta, and I don't want to pick up on it. But PvE is way more fun because I think it emphasizes the best parts of a card game in that you get to experiment with like really wacky things. Whereas when you get into a competitive mindset against a player with a deck, you go for what's the most efficient versus what's the most fun. But yeah, Legends of Terra is fun. I'll maybe do 1 or 2 lab runs a week just because it's something to do. I wish Magic, I don't know if Magic has like to the same level of, hey, do you just want to play against bots? Go for it. Or because the whole spirit of Magic is going against other players.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know that it has like, in terms of like for learning the game purposes, it has
bots, that's what I figured.
But I don't know about labs.
Yeah, no, it's like a completely separate game mode.
Yeah,
and it's really nice too because you're going against bots, the things tend to get a little wackier. Because what happens is like you beat a set of enemies, and then generally what happens is after every one they give you random cards you can pick to add to your deck with certain modifiers. Like -2 cost, or you summon an extra copy, or blah 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 blah. But after every boss fight you get a passive that lasts the rest of the run, and those passives get really fun. And that's probably where most people enjoy labs, is taking your deck that's already kind of busted and then adding another ridiculous passive that makes it even better. And there's like 12 or 14 different decks to play with. And so it feels very fresh every time I play. I haven't gotten bored, basically. So, but yeah, besides Final Fantasy, bit of Runeterra. And even then, like I say that, I'm already like, it's a fun novelty, but I'm probably going to uninstall it in the next few weeks just because it's a fun novelty. And there are better, more interesting ways to waste my time than playing Legends of Runeterra. So,
gotcha.
Yeah.
Nice.
Pretty easy. What about you, Ian? What have you been up to?
I alternatively, or I guess the same but different, I got into Magic some more. I always seem to get into it at like the start of a set, and then I come back near the end of the set to when like a new set drops. I always seem to like come back around that time.
Is the current set the like D&D style set, or is that already passed?
No, that's the current one. We're about to turn over to a new set, and also a new it's going to be like a new, they call it like the renewal or something like that, where they like phase out a huge chunk of the standard. Right now it's like, I don't remember, but there's like I think 3 or 4 sets that are being phased out at once. So it's like a pretty big change up in the standard.
What's that called again? Because it's like how back when Hearthstone went from like you convert some cards from standard to wild, right? Is that like the same idea?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, same idea. I think they call it the like renewal, season of renewal or something like that. But yeah,
sounds like a Destiny thing. The season of renewal. Because everything's just season of.
But yeah, I started playing that a lot.
Do you actually like the set, or is it just a fun gimmick?
No, I like it. It changes things up enough. I don't play enough. I watch a lot of people who play like the drafts. I don't get to play too much of those. Or at least as much as I would like to. Because if I had the like, the money to do it, that's probably like all I would play is just the draft. Because then you get like real limited cards, and it also has that element of randomness when you're like putting a deck together. That's like one of my favorite parts. But dude, I'll take like shitty decks into ranked all the time and just see if I can pop off the like thing that I'm trying to do. What I'm running right now is like a red-green deck. That basically you just shovel in a lot of good legendary creatures in, and then with the new set, it has these cards that are like class cards, and so you have like Bard class, Ranger class, because it's D&D themed.
Yeah.
And so like what Bard class does is every time you play a legendary, you that legendary gets +1/+1, but then you upgrade the class to like put on additional effects that'll happen. So like Bard class is legendary gets +1/+1. The next one is reduced cost for all legendaries, and then the next one is when you play legendary, this thing happens. So yeah, so it's literally just like shovel in all the legendaries with that, and then like this other card that lets you play creatures from the top of your deck, and it just gets out of hand. It's just insane and silly. So yeah, that's what I've been doing, and it's been very fun. But yeah, and I mean, of course, Final Fantasy. I think that's about it. I've been getting over a little bit. That's like I've had more time than usual to just sink into that stuff, which I think is also part of the reason why I picked up.
I think it also helps that like we're all in the interesting part of Final Fantasy now. Like base Stormblood is hit or miss for a lot of people. But I think even if you don't really like the story of Shadowbringers, it's at least more interesting. And so it's probably easier to just sink more time into it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And everybody's about at that point. I think one person is still in, one of our friend group just started post Stormblood. So we're all basically at the point of finishing up current Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah.
Dude, I have like,
soon.
I'm at the point now where all I'm looking for is for fashion. I have like tabs open with like certain armor pieces that I want that I just like saved.
Fine.
I'm ready to grind for this.
Yeah, fashion is scary in that game because
it gets insane. Like,
there's so many pieces that are crafting only.
Yeah.
And I dread having to do that because I'm stupid. I'm going to do all of the crafting myself. So I have to gather everything first. And then I have to make sure my gatherer has enough high level. And then my crafter has to have enough high level. And then I can finally craft it. And I'll make the piece, be like, cool. I'm going to put it in my storage because there are 4 other pieces I got to compare it to.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare.
You'll have like 10 outfits, but you'll only ever wear like 2.
That's the worst. I have 4 outfits right now. And because I'm finishing up post Stormblood, I'm wearing my Stormblood outfit. And it's like, I want to wear my other one because it's cooler. But I got to, this is lore. It's lore accurate. Alamigo gear.
Oh, you don't have to do that.
Feels like
I got to. I
mean, respect. I was just saying, like, I didn't realize that was why. I was like, oh, okay, dang.
Yeah, I have, because I have a Shadowbringer set I'm going to wear for all of Shadowbringers. And
nice.
I have a gold saucer outfit I wear for the gold saucer specific. It's dumb, but I find it's, what else am I going to do with, like 200 pieces of gear now?
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy, so.
I've been bad. I just sell it to get whatever it is.
The company tickets?
The company tickets, yeah.
Oh,
so gotta save at least one for fashion.
I'm like kind of waiting until endgame. Then I'm like, all right, I messed up. Let's get this stuff back.
Isn't there a limit to how much you can put in your glamour chest? Yeah.
It's like 500.
Oh, glamour? 5, yeah.
It's something
a lot.
ridiculous.
Sorry, company.
Until you get like really into it, and then it's like I don't have any space in my glamour dresser.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, but I do put stuff in the glamour dresser, but then it's just like
it becomes an issue when you play more than one class. But I only play one class, so it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah. Dude, the degree for, I mean, I'm sure everybody knows by now, but for anyone who doesn't, the degree of insanity that is Final Fantasy fashion. They have an entire website that is basically just Instagram for Final Fantasy.
Yep.
14.
That's where I find a lot of cool pieces I want.
But it's so cool. But it's so dope, though.
It is sick. It is sick. Yeah. That's where I also find all of my like, ooh, I want this.
I wish
I want this.
If they need to go full fashionista, because you can get player commendations. They need like fashion commendations.
Oh yeah,
that's like sick. That would be the flex.
That would
like,
actually.
Oh, I'm a mentor. It's like I'm a fashion mentor. You can step up for a second.
Or like a fashionista achievement or something.
That would be so like much more toxic. That would be so much more toxic. Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah. There's even
what a great level of toxicity.
I even like discovered a YouTube channel that like
only does fashion
submissions from the community of their like fashion, and then they'll do like it's really professional. They'll do like, hi, welcome to the fashion week. Here we have like this in a very tasteful ensemble. I'm like, what is going on?
The true RPers come out for fashion.
Yeah. It's great. I love that it exists. I love it. But yeah, that's enough of that. That's all I've been doing. Let's talk about what we came here to discuss. Which I'm
a PS5.
Yeah,
I was about to say I wish I had a PS5. It's upsetting.
Mm-hmm. Same. Yep.
Upsetting.
It is. I haven't even tried. Have you guys been like looking to see like how easy it is to get?
Very casually looked for PS5s.
How easy it is it's the most incorrect statement I've ever heard.
Sorry, how hard it is.
I'm in like 4 Discords.
So really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But then like
it's still
but I'm not. But it's also not me trying. Well, I say this. I'm not trying. I get all the notifications, but if I was actually on it, like paying attention, maybe. But I'll see it. I'm like, cool. Not yet. But halftime, it's always like, oh, is it going to be on Amazon? Nah. It's on Best Buy. Good luck. On their site, I'll wait, but nah. So. But there are times when I'm like, all right, let's see. But no.
Let's just see.
Let's just try.
You could try and drive out like 2 hours to some Best Buy out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean that's where people get it.
That's where people get it. Yeah.
There was there's a VTuber I watch where they got a PS5 like maybe a year ago, like back when the PS5 kind of just released, because they lived in the middle of nowhere. And so no one knew what a PS5 was. So they're like, oh, thanks. I'm just going to buy it. Thank you. Bye-bye. Whereas we live in a, metroplex where everybody wants a PS5. So, yeah, we could make the drive, but is it worth it at that point? Because we get a PS5 and then what? What would you play? Not a lot. Ghost of Tsushima.
Coming games, though.
Yeah. All these coming games next year, which, yeah, there are some good ones.
I'm hyped.
I was like not expecting to be like excited for this
which
PlayStation
one, Ian?
showcase, but I was pleasantly surprised. For which one? Yeah.
Which I guess like did you both get to watch the full thing?
Yeah, I watched all of it.
You watched all
I don't know. So it was only like an hour long, right?
Yeah, it was really short.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I watched the full thing. Yeah.
I will say, like, for me, all the Marvel stuff was like, I don't give a shit. All these other games, I want this game though.
Did you say that for Spider-Man?
Sorry, excluding when they did Guardians of the Galaxy Wolverine, I was like, I don't give a shit. Spider-Man though, okay, you got me. Spider-Man was the exception.
That's a hot
super excited, but that's because I really liked the original Spider-Man PS4. I never played Miles Morales because I was wanting to play it on the PS5, but
same. But yeah, look how that's going.
I really hope, and this is my train of thought. I really hope we get to play as Venom, because
that'd be sick.
The last time Venom, what was it? Ultimate Spider-Man 2? There was like an old PlayStation 2 version of some Spider-Man game where I think you got to play Venom. And it's been forever, besides like a fighting game. Because who do you that voiceover, Harrison? Who do you think that was?
Voiceover?
For Spider-Man. Yeah.
Like is like which Venom that be, or you mean like
no, because you know the Russian voice, right? Like Russian sounding voice.
Yes, do you remember that?
People are thinking that's the new villain, and it is not Venom. But so I'm hoping they're going to do the thing where like halfway through the game, you end up getting to play as Venom. Because it looks like you have both Peter and Miles, so. I don't think you would play as Miles, but it seems like you would get him as like a partner on some missions. And I'm hoping
it'd probably be a mix. I'm curious, but you're right. I don't think they should let you play as Miles, because it's this is weird thing. I'm like, it is spin-off. But now since we're in 2, is this like who's? I guess it depends on what's the story, right? Like they could probably have some sequences where like Miles has like a mission here or there.
Yeah,
but most time you'll probably be playing Peter.
I'm excited for Venom.
Do you think we'll get the suit? Play as okay, so it's like, do you play as Venom or do you get the suit?
I would assume you play as Venom, and Insomniac at some point will like, what version of the Venom suit do we get? Like, do they give us the Spider-Man 3 Venom suit, or do they give us the like cartoon Venom suit? Because I will say the teaser they had for Venom, spoiler alert, they tease Venom. It looks so accurate to the like live action Venom film, because it's all like squiggly. That'll be cool.
Yeah.
And I think we'll probably just get the Spider-Man 3 Venom suit as like a thanks for playing the game, because they added the Raimi trilogy Spider-Man suit eventually, so I figure they just toss in the.
But I feel like with the black suit,
Venom suit.
I feel like with the black suit, you gotta add some like weird like symbiotic webbing or something, right? Like when you swing around.
Yeah.
That like maybe
possible.
I would want more than I guess I would want it more than a cosmetic type deal. I'd rather have it like as like actually get some additional powers type deal with the suit. That'd be cool. But I guess we'll see. And then so sorry, it's going back. I'm excited for Wolverine at least because it's also Insomniac. That's why I was like, so that's why I'm excited for that.
I was excited for Wolverine
because like Guardians is like, okay, this is going to be like a thing. I don't know how that's going to be handled because I don't remember if it's the same team, but it's also Square Enix, right? That one was Square Enix.
Square Enix.
So
but
that's why
it's like, Eidos Montreal who's doing Guardians, which is they did what is that franchise called? Deus Ex.
Deus Ex, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And then they helped with I just remember seeing they helped with Arkham, the first Arkham.
Yeah.
I think at that point.
But that's such a good shot too when they show off both Spider-Man.
Do you think this will be like is this I mean, I don't know anything about this. Do you think this will be like co-op play?
No.
Big doubt.
Like if somebody do that, I don't think someone's Spidey?
I don't think so. That would be
they shouldn't. No. I don't think they should. They should keep it single player like they for the last two.
But like not like a you have to, but like as an option, like as a side thing, like side co-op.
That's too much effort for very little return.
Oh my god, I'm so excited. This looks so good.
See, but I should have paid attention more because I know like Miles's emblem looks different. I want to know if that Spider-Man logo matches the advanced suit or if that's like a completely unique logo that's meant to be. Because if it's a different logo, then I bet we would get some version of a Venom suit.
Yeah, I feel like we would. But yeah, let's see. Yeah, Spider-Man and Wolverine. I'm freaking hyped because the last game they did for Wolverine was actually really good from what I remember. I didn't have it, but I remember a lot of people that they were all pleasantly because it was supposedly like the Origins when Origins came out. Wolverine, like the movie was, but the game apparently was really good. Like because this is like the time when everyone's like, "Oh, it's a movie, it's a game based off the movie," blah blah blah. But then it was like, wait, this is actually like kind of rated R and stuff. But
I guess like for me, I'm less excited for Wolverine. Wolverine to me is really, really big in like ensemble casts. And you had Logan as like a standalone thing. And then he technically also had Wolverine Origins, but like a solo Wolverine to me just doesn't sound as interesting because I think he does better with a group. Whereas Spider-Man is like Spider-Man just does Spider-Man things. That's my take on it.
It's Wolverine to me is not a part of anything. Or okay, sorry. He's a part of many things, but he's not like he's like the X-Men, but also the Avenger. Like he's always like one of the guys. Like if you know what I mean. Like I remember seeing like this one little like picture back then when it was like X-Men versus Marvel or Avengers essentially, and it was always like Wolverine would jump around and do random stuff. He was like that guy. But so I think Wolverine has a lot. I think it's been a while, so it's probably good because there was a point. You're right. It was like the spinoff, but like he had like his own trilogy at some point. But yeah, so if anything, we'll see. I'm curious how they can do it, but I have a feeling if it's Insomniac, they'll do it fine.
Yeah, I'm definitely curious to see how that goes. Dude, yeah, like I'm kind of with Luke in the respect that a lot of the like random game, maybe not random games, but a lot of the
it's like
the games that like aren't attached to any like thing.
Yeah,
are like the most interesting. No, God, that's all I was gonna say. Just like
I was
games
gonna say,
that are like not attached or
like
the most interesting.
It was great. Like I'm specifically gonna call out Ghostwire Tokyo because we got the teaser last year before, and then
last year
because it was either at E3 or a different PlayStation event, but now we get like this is like a full blown trailer.
Yeah, and it's sick.
This game looks really cool. And I'm really excited because I don't know how much of like legitimate Japanese mythology they're pulling from. but kind of like what Sekiro did for Japanese mythology, where they go a level beyond what people know. This is what makes me the most excited, because like the supernatural elements look super cool. And normally I don't like horror games, or like don't like playing or watching, but I'd probably make an exception because the game also just looks really fucking cool to play.
Yeah.
This one was cool.
And they have like a really I don't know. For me, they had like it doesn't look like a horror game that's trying to like
scare you,
overtly scare you. Yeah, it's more of like the environment's just scary because it's just
like
a product of the world.
The theme of the game is like it's gonna be scary, but it's not like this is playing out last. It's like
yeah.
It doesn't play into like the whole like a lot of horror games do jump scares.
This is just spooky stuff.
Like this will probably do it, but probably not as like I would think it's more like spooky, like versus like we're gonna try to scare like there's like that typical.
But it also helps like the design is also just really cool, and that's probably pulling on Japanese mythology.
Yeah,
and I thought it was a really interesting dichotomy because you have Ghostwire Tokyo, where you have modern day but supernatural elements, and then you had Forspoken, which was basically like here's Isekai the game.
Yeah, but it looks so freaking
like Western.
Good. Yeah, but like Western. Yeah, it looks.
Yeah, but it's just like fantasy world but modern character. It's like a really cool flip.
Yeah.
I still don't know how I feel about this game because it looks amazing. It reminds me so much of that Unity 5 demo like a year or two ago.
Yeah,
like just the environment looks so clean and the effects, everything. I can't stand the main character.
Oh, really? I found her like very compelling. Actually,
me too. I liked her character too. I was like, wait, this is a kind of cool.
I thought she was really annoying.
Really?
I mean,
that's funny.
I guess
it's me probably being swayed too much of like she's just an isekai character, and I hate isekai characters because the actual like the characters in the game outside of her look and sound really interesting and cool. It's just the like I'm the modern character and I don't know what's happening. I'm gonna make quips all the time. It's like stop.
Sure.
I'm sure like as we get more trailers, I'll form a better opinion. But so far, I'm like, game looks great. I can't stand this character.
I mean, we don't have a whole lot.
We don't.
Yeah, we also
it
don't
is
have
a lot of the world rather than just.
It says so much that the environment is selling me so much, though.
So good.
So it looks so good. It's crazy.
The effects look really cool.
Yep.
And then when she actually starts, like, when it gets to the part where she starts jumping around, I thought at the same moment, I was like, oh, we're actually see, like, back then when it was just a demo for like the engine, we're like, oh, we'll probably get this like in a few years, but it's been like a couple. And we're like, oh, we're actually getting this. Like, this actually all looks really good. Like, it's insane.
Oh, look at that like movement.
And like I love when games have really fun traversal. Like Spider-Man was great, just swinging, and then there's like magic parkour. Looks awesome.
Yeah. I hope it's.
I like the aesthetic that they're going for, like even just her outfit and stuff. Now I'm like, okay, this is cool. I vibe with that.
Yeah.
I'm excited. What was that other? The other one that looked really good, but it was also just anime as hell with that one chick. It was like you go from
ukulele one or
no.
Eve.
Eve,
Project Eve.
Project Eve.
That game has been in development hell for like 3 or 4 years, and then I saw it. I was like, wait.
Yeah, that's why I was like,
wait a minute.
I remember hearing about it. I was like, wait, is it this game? Hold up, and because I remember I watched other people react to it, and every time we got to this part, everyone's like, wait, I'm confused. Is this? Everyone kept thinking it was like something else, or like it was that, or it was
This game has such good enemy design. I really want to get it. And it's basically just like it's Korean Bayonetta or Korean Nier.
Yeah, that's what it is. I was like, It's like a game. I was like, can't remember what it is. I'm like, why don't you bring it up? Yeah, it's like Korean Bayonetta, actually. It's looks really good. I was like, it became very apparent where I'm like, all right, I really want a PS5 because I was like, you actually feel like you get the graphic upgrade where like now I think it's starting to hit this is next gen. Because I'm like, I don't think like a PS4 or anything could run this at all.
Yeah, PS4 would explode if it tried to render.
It would
all
actually
this.
explode.
Because I really want to.
God, this looks so good.
I want gameplay a lot, like because this is gameplay.
Yeah.
I don't want curated gameplay because I want to see how this game looks.
Yeah,
and like same with most of the other games is like, let me see how a regular ass PS5 is going to run the game. Because that's like, that'll be the real point of like, we're next gen now.
Yeah. Not yet. You're right. It'll be the next
other thing too about this event. Like we had these games, but then like a good quarter of the games are just remastered for PS5. And it's like, I don't care. Like, it's cool. We got, Uncharted updated for PS5. I don't care.
Yeah.
This is the stuff that makes me really excited.
Yeah, it's like the Uncharted one was kind of weird, if anything, because I remember I was talking to someone about it, and they're like, they're doing 4, but if anything, why not just do the whole thing? Because it feels like it's like it just happened, right? But then again, they also just happen to do a They just happen to do a collection. So I don't know. It looks. I was like, Uncharted looks good, but it was
I remember watching this, and my mind was like, "Oh, this could have been Project Vane if Project Vane wasn't like limited by the console and also just being really cookie cutter." Because this is so anime, and I'm all for it.
Yeah, it looks dope. I was not expecting to like get hyped for this one. There's a lot of things I didn't expect from this showcase, honestly, because I was like, I didn't know what to expect. Because I know some people are like, it's been a year. It's been a year since I
honestly kind of forgot things were happening until I saw people posting like, "Oh, we're gonna be watching the event." I was like, "Oh, I guess I'll tune in." Not expecting much, and then here we are with some. This scene was so cool.
Yeah, this was the scene that I was like, "Oh, this is insane! Can't wait for this." And I want a PS5,
dude. All the enemies look so like gross and wet.
Yeah, it looks so cool. I'm all for it. It reminds me of like it's like the gory, gross version of something like Asura's Wrath. Is that how you say it?
Asura's Wrath, yeah.
Yeah, Asura's Wrath. We're like just so over the top. Except Asura's Wrath is like heavenly kind of, because I think they're pulling off of.
It's off of Hinduism.
Yeah, and then this is just like, oh, we're just gross demon monsters, and we think it's cool. I was like, yeah, I dig it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, man, can't wait.
Oh god, that game looked really good.
Another
may have been my favorite. I don't know yet.
Really?
But maybe,
wow,
maybe.
Okay.
I was gonna say there's like 2 other ones that I'm ecstatic for. I can't. I'll start off with like the one that's like I didn't. So the other one, it was like
wait.
Hit the second one for
wait. Okay, I have 2 also. I just want to see if we have the same thing. So go ahead.
It's got to be the same one. So I'm gonna do the one that's lower.
Okay.
It's the one I didn't expect today, but I remember it's been in like rumbling. It's Star Wars, like KOTOR. Yeah. I didn't expect KOTOR at all today because I didn't expect it to be freaking PS5 like exclusive. It's probably timed.
It's timed PS5 exclusive, which is like, okay, they're not that dumb.
But it was like one of those like people were like, this was the thing. People were like, it was on Xbox initially.
Yeah,
who's gonna get it first? And obviously, I'm like, all right. When it popped up here, I'm like, Sony had more money, duh, of course. But the fact that it's a remake,
but also. Hasn't Sony been getting because wasn't the Star Wars?
Yes, yeah. Sony has
the other Star Wars was also Sony.
Yes. It's been Sony just had the thing, but this was one of those where like it was originally Xbox exclusive, but we don't know. Like people are like, we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't wait for this. It was just such a quick, because it was one of those we saw. I'm like, okay, it's Star Wars, but what? Because someone was like saying it could have been just another thing about Force Unleashed or something, right?
Dude, I know I'm getting like nostalgia baited here, and I don't care. Like I will get this.
I absolutely do not give a shit. I will throw money at this.
Yeah.
No,
same.
It's gotten bad to where me and my brother used to play KOTOR a lot, but we played on PC. And the thing is, sometimes it legitimately does not run on my PC. It runs on the phone, but do I want to get on the phone? Not really.
Yeah.
It runs well on the, but now I was like, oh, okay, this is perfect. I'm gonna wait for this. This is beautiful. Nostalgia bait.
This is
confirmed. What's your other one, Ian? What's the other one?
The other one that I think you want to talk about, that I think we all want to talk about because we all like this game, is God of War. Dude,
Go ahead, Ian.
Okay, I was just gonna say that this. I was very happy. Like, I know it's just a trailer, but they captured everything that I wanted to like see happening. Yeah, and the voice, dude, the voice actor for I forgot his name. Atreus. Atreus. That's it. I don't know if they like used the same dude and he just grew up a bit.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Like, I wonder if it's the same kid.
It's spot on. Like, it just sounds like him, but older.
No, I'm pretty sure it's him. I mean, he got older. Like, by the end of the project, he was older.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
No doubt. I'm pretty sure it's still him.
That's fantastic. Because it sounds great.
Because, I mean, it just kind of works because he was already growing up by, like, when he first started the God of War project, and by the time he ended, I think it was like, you could tell, like, over time it got harder. I think they said in the documentary or something because he got older. But it wasn't as bad.
It was like on the cusp of puberty, so it's like hard to still
But this
get
one
that.
was like, I feel like it's him. It's gotta be.
Like the voice is way too.
Because it just kind of works. Because he like when we saw him at the Game Awards, he was already older. Like from what he's looked like in the documentary. So at this point, no doubt.
Yeah.
But this was the moment where I was like, yep, I need a PS5. But I don't remember if they said this would be on PS4. That's the thing. But no, regardless, I'm like, no, I need a PS5. I don't care. Yeah. I need to have one. I'd
be surprised if it is on PS4. And yeah, I don't remember either, but it's like at some point they just need to cut their ties and be like, there's no more PS4.
Yeah.
Especially because PS5 has technically been out for 2 years.
I mean, I think it's one, like, I'm sure for them they could do it, but as like from a business standpoint, it's like one of those, you can cut ties, but that just means you're going into an ecosystem that almost doesn't exist.
Yeah,
I mean, like a select few. But that's whose fault is that?
It's
not mine.
It's a bit of everybody's fault.
What are you talking about? No, yeah, you're right though. But
some things we're seeing, we get the Chaos Blades and the axe again.
Off the bat?
I don't know. Is it off the bat?
I would
think. I would think.
All right.
That would be a weird regression.
Yeah, that's true.
No,
there is like I am seeing like some cutscenes though where it's not in, and maybe it's just for like narrative purposes he doesn't have it, but
yeah,
I don't know.
But it'd be weird, but it's like that was like the big thing with the
right here. I was like,
this was the moment, and
then when he stands up, I'm like, all right, you got it.
All right, you win,
and now he calls him boy.
I know. Yes, I was just thinking. I was like, will you stand? Boy. And I'm also confused by this, but I guess we'll see.
This is like, I am concerned about God of War Ragnarok.
Oh, you're concerned. Okay.
Yeah, and maybe this is me being paranoid. Maybe this is me being the dissident voice, but like, one, I've heard that Cory Barlog isn't directing this anymore. He's apparently directing a different project. Within Santa Monica, which
I've not heard about
that could be good and bad. It just kind of depends.
Mm-hmm.
And then this might be some sort of pseudo spoiler, but Santa Monica have said like that Ragnarok finishes the Norse arc, which sure, that's like they don't need to do a trilogy,
Right.
but it also is a little like worrying that they introduce, like, they show off these plot hooks at the end of the original, like the God of War 2019, and then they just wrap it up in the next one, which, I mean, that they can do, and that's perfectly reasonable, but I'm just like, I hope they do it well, because when you end things like that, you don't necessarily get a redo.
Also confirmed, he's not directing.
Yeah.
But he's working on something else. Yeah, confirmed. I think it was like in the post and show interview. I think that's when they mentioned it. But I mean, I get what you mean. I think it's one of those, like, I only have that thought because I would think that they would like to have a trilogy. Like, I feel like everything, it's like that rule of 3 just feels right. But if they end it here, if they handle it like they do with the previous game, because the previous game still felt like it was
like it mainly makes me worried because the scope of the game also got exponentially bigger, because they talk about in God of War 2019, out of the 9 realms, you go to 6 realms. And they said in Ragnarok, you end up going to all 9. And they have 6 of them built out, so that's not a huge deal. But the other realm, I mean, because they have, I mean, the biggest one is like you go to Asgard at some point. And you don't want to make Asgard like a throwaway place, kind of like, I think Muspelheim was kind of the throwaway area.
It was kind of,
But
the fiery one, Ian?
Yeah.
What?
The fiery one?
Yeah, that's Muspelheim.
Yeah.
I don't remember, so that's probably indicative of it being the throwaway.
And
but I mean, they already kind of did that with some of the realms where it was just like you did it for a certain point.
Yeah, I mean, that was really also Hell. They had like it was like a long sequence, but it was just a sequence.
It was like, what was that one with the labyrinths? Where like there was a maze one. That's a separate realm, was it not?
I thought that was Muspelheim.
Was that also Muspelheim? Okay, I might have mistaken that.
And then the other one too, my other like weird concern, and is like, oh, they introduced that girl at the end, and it's like, oh, there's Atreus's love interest, because they have to have a love interest. It's like, no, please don't do that.
And they could do that.
I also wonder if she's like,
you can do it well, but I think it makes it hard when you're also countering with what Kratos' story to Atreus is, and that teaching Atreus what it's like to both be a god and a human, and also like staying out of certain conflicts. And then like there's just the petulant teenager's like, Dad, I like this girl, I want to kiss her. It's like, shut up, boy. Thor's hunting us type thing. It's they're introducing concepts that are really hard to pull off, and that's probably my concern.
I think those are valid concerns. Those are
valid, yeah.
But I'm still super hyped. I still will play it 100%, but I'm worried because it's also, I wonder if they're gonna do any more after, or if do they just like, we've had 7 games of God of War. It's probably time.
No, I think if they said Norse, the way they say Norse arc type deal, I have a feeling they want to.
Yeah, like they could do like, oh, Kratos like goes somewhere else, or like Atreus goes somewhere else.
Because like, what if that girl's the hook to a different mythology type deal? Because it did show like that 4. I think it was 4 that they focused on. Like when they showed the pot, it was like Greek, Norse.
They had, I think, Egyptian, maybe Japanese.
They had like the 3,
I'm trying to remember. So obviously they have the teaser hooks for that.
But it also like they don't have to. You're right, but they don't have to do it though. That's the thing. So this could be it. Who knows? But I'd like to have faith that they would actually flesh out the story at this point too.
I'm curious if they follow. I'm curious, like, if they are gonna follow through, like, with the ending, or like with the like prophecy prediction that we got. Like, if that actually ends up happening
at some point.
Or if
I mean, it could.
If like, somehow in the story it doesn't turn out like, exactly how we
either
thought.
Way, they have really cool story endings, because they do have the like, oh, the prophecy comes true. Or they even talk about in the trailer that they're trying to prevent it. And if they like prevent or deflect Ragnarok, you could have implications of that.
Yeah.
But like that my other, and this is not of the game as a whole, it's just the nature of trailers is they show that character who we all got excited for, and I'm mad because they should not have showed that.
I think they should have said.
So disappointed.
Yeah, I agree. I think they could have just said like that little like thing that they say where Atreus is
like the old God of War or something, right?
Yeah, and then Atreus is like, but Odin said he's dead, and then the other guy was like, or the head said like, they just said like, you don't know where to find him, and then like cut it off there. Whatever was said right there, if you like enter there and don't show him, that would have been enough. I think that's enough of like a teaser without like actually
the classic. The trailer spoils it, and they spoiled that so hard for me.
Guess I don't give a shit.
Like up till they actually showed him, I was like, yeah, he's dead. There's no.
It's like a matter of like, if they already said it, might as well do it. That's the thing. If they're already alluding to it,
like they just shouldn't have said it. They should have worded it where they're following his steps and not that, oh, we're looking for him, because then you keep the mystery of like he's still dead, and then when you get to the game, you're like, holy shit, he's not dead. And it makes it way more impactful than like, there he is, he's in the trailer, look.
But now we don't know what it's for. That's the thing. That's why I'm like, it shows it, and I'm like, okay, they show it, but that also is a thing with trailers. They could show it, and it doesn't matter, or it's a left turn, like a curveball. We don't know at this point.
That's true. It could be a curveball.
Yeah. Or
they show
that's
him,
just
and
that's
that
straight up like
he dies, and it's like, oh. Okay.
Or even like it's like this is actually just like
cuck.
Yeah. If anything, this could just be like a dream or like a vision or something, and it's not real.
No. If they do that, if they've done this, they've already done this. If they show him and then he dies like 5 seconds later, I'm done. Like, I'm not gonna play the game. I'm gonna be out.
That'd be so freaking bad.
That's the biggest cuck. No, thank you. Get me out.
But you know what I'm excited for is GTA 5 for PlayStation 5.
No, you're not.
Boy.
Don't lie about that.
I'm lying so hard. The fact that it popped up, I was like, which one's worse?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure at E3 they did the exact same thing. Or except like GTA 5 Remastered was the first thing they showed. And I was like, no one cares. Like, people are gonna buy it, people are gonna play it, but it's like,
I think it's just indicative of like how big their online community is.
Yeah, it is though. It's really that.
It's just for the people
because
who are like.
At the end of the day, we complain about this and like Skyrim, but Todd says it the best. He's like,
we are the tiniest percentage of people who care. The overwhelming majority of people are excited for this, and I'm happy for them. But I'm annoyed because I'm on a podcast and people aren't, so I can complain about it.
I just want to see which one outlasts.
I do not care about this, but
it's like,
you want to see what?
I just want to see which one lasts longer, Skyrim or this one at this point.
Technically, at least have
Skyrim's
the like, oh yeah, we're gonna do the sequel after Starfield. Whereas I don't think they've even mentioned a GTA 6. So.
Yeah, that's gonna be because I like the GTA series, but it's definitely gonna be one of those like GTA 6 probably will never happen. Or because like they like the online, it's just so popular.
Yeah,
yeah.
And GTA 6 will also be the most overhyped thing. And it'll probably be really bad. That is my prediction overall.
Overhyped also makes me think of the new Borderlands game they have. That trailer was super good. I will give them props.
Yeah, trailer's really good.
I actually biased because I do like baby metal, and there's this weird trend where like same with Bug Snacks where they had Caro Caro Bonito, and then this Borderlands game they have baby metal. Music is on point. The game obviously is gonna look cool because I like that cell shade aesthetic, and they're going for a super fantasy aesthetic. But I'm not gonna get the game. I bet it's gonna be trash. In terms of like writing, because they just don't have the writing. Like I don't think they have the same writing staff, but
Yeah.
The writing is gonna be but
it sucks because I'm such a sucker for like the like the high fantasy like thing they're going for.
The fantasy
and
looks really fun.
I was like, dang.
I'm sure it'd be a fun game, but it just wouldn't be fun after you play it once. You're like, all right, we're done. And I don't think that's worth the $60 or whatever.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
If anything, this will probably be the one I might get like on sale, maybe. But then also, let's be real, it's gonna be forever too because it's gonna be on Epic for a long time, and then it'll go on Steam. Blah blah blah.
Yeah. Because
we'll
I'm curious about this. So is it like gonna be an overworld type thing, and then you go into like scenarios?
That's their way of like moving around the map.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, like versus just doing a fast travel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I'm assuming.
It could be. Yeah, you're right.
Because they do have like they show the characters real life. Like here's the map we have. I wouldn't be surprised. It's just like a quick little like, oh, you just move the characters there.
Yeah.
Because honestly, and I don't know how well Borderlands 3 ran, but having the overmap instead of fast travel, they can probably just skip load times, and it's just an easier, seamless way. Especially if like on PS5, it can probably handle that transition seamlessly. So I would bet you just do an overworld instead of fast travel.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not interested. It looks really cool.
Like, it looks great. I'm excited for the trailer, but
yeah.
And it's like too much of me feels like they're trying to recapture Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep, which was a really good expansion.
They are though.
Instead of just like, yeah, I mean they basically are. And it's like, oh, I guess that's kind of lame.
I was super enamored with Chai. I think it's called Chia.
I just say Chia because I think a Chia Pet.
Chia. Yeah.
That looked like a very comfy game.
Yeah, it looks very comfy.
So good.
Wait, Ian, you could just play Last of Us 2. What are you talking about?
Don't play Last of Us 2.
That was a very great sound. That was a good sound effect.
This game is comfier than Last of Us 2.
That's true. See, there's no
don't need
zombies
super
here.
dreary, super depressing game. We need I'm gonna become a crab game.
Unless it's like the horrifying undertone of you're like conquering these animals' minds and enslaving them to your
like the entire trailer. I was just waiting for the other shoe to drop of like, what's this game is too cute. Something's wrong.
Something's gonna happen.
There's a conflict. It's gonna happen.
This looks really good though. Like still like for like certain
got the Breath of the Wild
graphics. I was like, damn, it's cool.
Yeah, like I really like the aesthetic because it's super
Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey. They're pulling. It looks cool. I saw this. Like initially, I was one of those like I had this on the side. I was like kind of looking, and then it was one of the trailers where I ended up just watching. I was like, oh, comfy.
Yeah,
I like it.
The environments are super cool too.
Yeah, I was just like, it makes me think of what was it, Kenna and the Bridge of Spirits. This like just random, cool looking game. We're like, oh, now I'm really interested.
That came out, I think.
No, it's been delayed. It's been delayed. It's been delayed so much. It's supposed to come out.
You can pet the crab.
Yeah, you can.
This game is superior.
Say that.
What a good game.
Did it actually come out for once?
What a good game. But what were you saying? So it just got delayed to hell.
It's still delayed.
Okay. All right.
It's weird with weird releases. Deathloop that gets released like next week.
Yeah.
That completely slipped my mind.
It's funny because that's been promoted for so long and it's been delayed so many times as well. Like the more I hear about it, at first I was like, okay, this is cool. But now we've gotten to where I'm like, all right, dude, just give me the game. I'm actually kind of curious now.
It's weird because in my mind, like Deathloop and Splitgate got like fused in my mind where it's like, yeah, they're like the same game. And I forgot that Deathloop looks to be maybe single player.
It's single player. Yeah. It's
gotta be.
Yeah. Probably not going to get it anyway, but I was just more surprised, like, oh, look, a game is coming out. This is like, this is big news. We're actually getting a release date.
Yep. I actually am like really interested in the story of this. Like, they got like the really strong. I don't know what era this is. Is like, would you say it's like 80s style or
80s?
It's like,
70s?
Yeah, like pseudo futurist. It's like pseudo retro future.
Yeah, which is really cool.
Also, just to blow your mind, how we view like the 80s is how the kids nowadays view our generation.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, the 80s is like way long ago, and then the 90s are also a long time ago.
90s is an era. Yeah. Soon this will be an era.
Yeah, we're all just
dinosaurs. It's all cyclical.
But
it's all a death loop.
It's all a death. Yeah. But yeah,
this is cool.
I don't. It's not my time. I'm not like somebody who's super into. So,
do you understand how this game works though? Wait, do you understand how this game works though? So the idea of it is like you have to technically try to kill everyone at the same time. Like you're playing like it's a shooter, but it's like specific.
Yeah, it's not like a straight up adventure shooter.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it more like maybe like Dishonored?
Yeah. No, this is made by the same guys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. So there's like the idea. This weird overarching puzzle element to it.
Yeah. Like you got it. Like I was hearing some people talk about it, but I low-key kind of want to get this game now. I wasn't initially. I was like, okay, this looks cool. But the more I hear about it, I was like, all right, sounds very interesting. But it's like one of those. Yeah, you have like 24 hours, and you gotta like you can't kill someone sequentially, but you can either time something to make sure someone dies while you're doing something else.
Yeah,
or it's like this whole thing because you only have like a set amount of time.
But besides your like weird funky powers, there is the like almost like Majora's Mask where you're playing against time too.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that
might be interesting.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
Yeah. Okay. I might be more interested in that.
360?
What?
No, I just saw 360. Maybe.
I think the only other thing, and this was just a disappointment for me. They had the what was the vampire game? It was like
Blood Hunt?
Battle Royale
Blood
one?
Hunt.
Yeah, Blood Hunt. That wasn't Masquerade, was it?
It's in that universe, but it's not Masquerade. It is not Masquerade.
Okay, so this isn't the actual one they showed off a while.
This isn't the one they showed prior. No. Okay. This is a spin-off. Yeah, this is a spin-off because that game's
I totally thought because the game got thrown into development hell, and I thought they were just turn it into a BR. That's it.
No. So this is a spin-off. This is
never mind. Not disappointed. Pleasant surprise. I'm not worried because I thought I was about to be real mad.
Still kind of worried for the other game, but this is not the same game. Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
Good.
So they just
I also thought that
universe BR.
Yeah, like vampire themed BR.
But it's just the weirdest thing because it's cool, but I don't know if the people that are excited for Vampire Masquerade would be excited for this. You know, I feel like this would be like a totally different.
No, it's just like a pity thing where like we don't know when the actual Vampire the Masquerade is going to come out.
Yeah.
Play our BR instead. It's like, okay, we're just getting pennies thrown at us.
I wonder if maybe it's like this is like showing the like mechanics that they're planning on implementing and stuff.
So.
I'm not sure.
Because
I'm not sure.
My idea of Vampire the Masquerade is way more RPG and not Battle Royale.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll see. But this is not the same game.
Okay. That makes me not as worried. Still worried, but I thought they just
and find out it is, and they're like, "Oh, just the actual game now."
And then I know where you live, so I'm gonna come knock at your door at 3 a.m. cosplaying as a Nosferatu.
Oh, it was kind of cool to see like how they divide the factions and stuff. That was
cool. That at least that makes it interesting. I'm still not gonna play it because I don't like battle royales. But what else is new?
I'm kind of the same. I'm not really in Marvel Guardians, although it looks cool. Like it looks.
I mean, yeah,
thick.
I'm just hesitant on that one still after
Mhm.
how they handled Avengers.
The Avengers.
There was also Rainbow Six Extraction. I'm kind of mad on it too.
I was mad on it. Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like it's kind of tricky getting into shooters now because everybody's just waiting for Halo to drop, and so other shooters are inevitably going to be compared to like.
It's like Halo and Battlefield.
Should I just be? Could I just be playing Halo instead? It's like, yeah, you could, and it's like, well, then why would I buy Rainbow Six or whatever?
Yeah,
it's hard because
like,
I think
Splitgate is free, so people are going to play that.
Yeah.
But once Halo comes out, Splitgate's probably just going to die.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Well, yeah, it's going to have your hardcore fan base, but
like,
I don't see any one of our group who currently plays Splitgate wanting to play Splitgate when Halo comes out. So it's like
exactly, yeah.
Splitgate,
I do agree. For our group, like Splitgate's one of those like we're just waiting for like the next to play. Because I know half the group is like, oh, I want to play Battlefield. Then the other one's like, I'm just gonna play Halo because it's free.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
fair.
Excuse me. I actually was interested in the Alan Wake remastered just because it's something that like I missed. Like I just Alan Wake.
Alan Wake came out
like the original Alan Wake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just missed out on
it. Let's see.
And it was something that
like early 10s, I think.
2010.
Yeah, 2010.
Xbox 360.
See, I thought, did they not already do a remaster or remake of Alan Wake? Or was this the first one?
I think they ported it.
Okay, if it's a port, I guess. Yeah.
I think it was
not as bad.
I might be wrong though, because I know what you were thinking. Like I was thinking the same thing when I saw this. I'm like, wait, did they not already do something?
Mm-hmm.
But it might have just been a port, or maybe not even. Maybe it was teased for so long and we just forgot. Yeah,
maybe. I don't know. I guess I was just interested because I missed out, and I'm like, maybe I do kind of want to play that.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
But,
I mean,
Alan Wake was one of the first games I remember that kind of had a big influence on these like slower exploration games, like exploration horror. I guess is how I would explain it. Because I mean, Outlast came out a little bit after that. Because before, like most horror games were, I don't know, like Alan Wake. I feel like Alan Wake was one of those games that affected a genre more than it should have, in a good way.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I definitely hear people like reference it a lot. It's
I mean, it's the same thing with like, I think a lot of it influenced Until Dawn or even like Detroit, because you have those like set pieces and then you go into investigative mode, and I think Alan Wake was one of the first to do that.
Oh, that's what it was. I was like, there's a game they made like a while back that had like an episodic thing, and it was like that Quantum Break.
Okay.
Quantum Break is Wait, hold on. Oh, never mind. Sorry, I'm thinking of something. Never mind.
I think I keep confusing Alan Wake and Heavy Rain together, so it's hard for me to remember all those because they're.
I don't blame you. Yeah.
Investigative dark games.
Yeah, and then there's Gran Turismo, but none of us are car junkies, so
whatever.
It's always like this looks really pretty, but I'm not.
Yeah.
Wow, look at these graphics.
If they put in like a Dead Space teaser or something, that would have been also really big. But
like
that remake is so slow. Or like they just announced the Dead Space remake maybe like a month or two ago, so there's no way they would have had something. But I'm just excited for Dead Space.
But
I hope,
because otherwise, they showed off other games that we don't care about.
Yeah,
it was a really short one today.
Yeah, the last thing was Kid Amnesia. Kid Amnesia.
That was a weird one.
Yeah, that was weird. Yeah, I'm interested, but it was weird. It was it was really short, and it was just like a horror looking thing.
Like a spooky game.
Spooky game, yeah. It looked interesting, but there wasn't a lot that they showed either. So just kind of like a little teaser.
Out of everything, which one are you guys like most, or if anything, you guys have like one that's like the most surprising, or like one that you didn't expect? Because I feel like we could talk about.
I mean, Project Eve for me was the biggest. Like, oh,
yeah,
they're actually doing it.
I think it was like that one for me, or like I think Forspoken was like the one like I remember hearing about, but then actually seeing it, I was like, oh, this looks really cool. Dang. But those are the two. Those were my two like surprise like hype moments.
Yeah. If we're talking about like a surprise or like unexpected, I guess I would say like Forspoken and KOTOR. Yeah.
I guess for me it was more like KOTOR. I remember it's always rumored like, oh, they're gonna do something with it.
Oh, really?
That was like my one, like just because I was like kind of hearing it over time. I was like, all right. So when it happened, I was like, finally, it's happening. But it was like
expected.
Yeah.
This is one random, tiny, surprising thing. The one thing I liked about Guardians of the Galaxy is that they had the Nova Corps, and they didn't look like chumps.
But it did. Yeah, they actually looked.
That was the only cool thing.
Yeah.
So maybe that's my biggest surprise. Someone remembered the Nova Corps.
They also had a puppy.
They had what's his name? Yeah. I always want to say Crypto, and it's not it. I
Crypto, Superman stock.
Wrong franchise.
Wrong like wrong side.
Speaking of Crypto, Injustice. That looked cool. Completely outside of PlayStation event. Injustice.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I know you played a ton of Injustice.
I played so much of that one.
Yeah, I only played it when we were at your house, but I read all the comics.
Yeah.
And that was really cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I know you read all the comics. I actually have been meaning to, but it was always one of those like they drop a new year. I'm like, all right, I'll wait. I guess.
I had to wait a bit.
But then it kept going. I was like, oh
yeah.
Okay. But I'm curious if they'll like pull more from the comics for the movie, or if they're. I
hope they do.
The game. I hope they do too. I feel like the comics definitely, like from the first year one I read, it fleshed out a lot. So I feel like they need to. So we'll see. But yeah, super hyped for that.
Yeah.
Well, if we don't got anything else to say, we can wrap it up. Time to get some food. Food time.
Let's wrap it up.
All right. Well, that's about it for us today. If you're on YouTube, let us know what you were excited about. Is this a stinker or a pogger? Put poggies in the comments. Can I cross websites like that?
You can.
Is that allowed?
I mean, you can.
No one's gonna really stop you, but I'm just
the internet god's gonna
our podcast. We don't. Yeah. What Luke said.
But yeah. So thanks for listening. You can always tweet us. We may not ever see it, or maybe we will. At SuperBoss Pod. It's about 50-50. But if you hit those YouTube comments, you'll definitely get something back. Hit the like button, subscribe. Let us know how we're doing, and just thanks again, guys. Appreciate you tuning in.
See you guys next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.